it's Mia from Rose Nails by Marissa Coombs, and I did a thing. I resined my desk and it looks amazing. So I've used this dipoxy resin from Amazon and a bucket and some frog tape and a jug just to measure out the resin, because you've got to have 2 parts A to 1 part B. And then all of this hem weight glitter. So I've gone for rose goldy kind of vibes. And I've got a mix of chunky glitter and fine glitter to sort of really cover the desk and make sure there's no like holes in the chunky glitter. All of these bags are 100 grams, but I only used 250 grams of it in the end. I didn't think I needed to use the last bit of the bag. I thought it'd be too much. But I've been dying to do this forever and it looks amazing. So here is how I did it. So this is an Argos whatever they're called, Malm desk that I use for my nail desk. It has been adapted. See, look, I've still got loads left. It has been adapted to have my fan fit in it, hence why I have a big hole in my desk. So I'm mixing, how much did I do? 1000 ml of part A and 500 ml of part B. So I've got 1500 ml all together. And then I've given this a really, really good stir for about 4 minutes. When you first pour the 2 parts together, it kind of goes like a cloudy, milky thing, kind of thing. And you want to keep stirring it until it goes clear. The resin did have quite a few bubbles in it. I think I've maybe mixed it like too fast. Obviously, I didn't mix it this fast. I've sped this bit up. I think I might have mixed it too fast and I got too many air bubbles in. I have seen some people use like a blowtorch or a hairdryer or something once the resin is down on the table to get rid of any air bubbles. But I personally didn't bother doing that because they really weren't noticeable with the amount of glitter that I put in. So while I'm stirring this, as you can see, my husband is just going around the table with the frog tape and he is just making sure that it's like as upright as we could get the frog tape all around the edges so that the resin doesn't flow out of it. We had very, very minimal drippage using the frog tape. As you can see, we did put like an old blanket down underneath the table too, just in case, an old thick blanket. But to be honest, all the drips that we had were from the circle that I've put into my desk for my fan, because it's not a perfect circle. We did it in a bit of a rush. And because it's not a perfect circle, that's where we had our drips from. But we didn't have any drips from around the edges of the table. We did reinforce the sides of the frog tape with like extra frog tape. So you can see there my husband's done the frog tape and now he's just going over with a second piece just on the sides. And I think he did go over with quite a bit of frog tape on that circle piece in the middle where my fan is. So lots and lots of stirring later, one very sore arm. And I think, yeah, so now I'm just going to pour the mixed resin into the bucket, ready to add the glitter. And oh my, yeah, my son came and helped with the glitter. Look, you can see him, he's got his gloves on. And he was like, oh my God, glitter. So you can see I'm just using a plastic ice cream sundae spoon. I was just trying to show you that there was bubbles in there, but it honestly didn't really matter with the glitter. So I'm going to use this Ultra Sparkle glitter first from Hemway. It's amazing. This is the chunky rose gold holographic glitter. And it's flipping beautiful, seriously. So my son is going to pour the entire bag in, but slowly as I mix. And it was just like, oh my God. At this point I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, it's going to look amazing. Oh my God. But yeah, I would recommend for a sort of standard desk size desk, I've done 1500 ml of resin and then 250 grams of glitter, and that's like mixed chunky and fine so that it goes in between any cracks in the chunky glitter. So this is Ultra Sparkle glitter from Hemway. This is the mother of pearl glitter. The label had come off a little bit because I did clean the packages as they arrived, but it's gorgeous. It kind of goes green, you'll see. So this is just the rose gold glitter if you wanted to see what that looked like on its own. So you'll see as my son pours it in, like it looks like we're stirring green glitter in, but it doesn't, like as you stir it in, it kind of blends in with the rose gold and it just gives the most amazing shimmer. It's really pretty, but don't panic when you pour it in and you're like, oh my God, it's gone green, because it doesn't stay that way. So we're still mixing glitter in. As you can see, my husband is now filling in the fan circle with frog tape. He also put frog tape like all underneath to kind of block the circle from underneath as well. You might see him do that on camera. I don't know what he was doing because I was too busy looking at the glitter. So at first I was like, oh, I'm only going to put half of this in. Because I wanted to make sure we added enough of this fine rose gold glitter as well. This is just fine, I think, fine rose gold from Hemway. But this is the one that I ended up only using half of, and I actually ended up putting all of the mother of pearl in when I think I did it off camera. So I've put a whole 100-gram packet of the chunky rose gold, a whole 100-gram packet of the mother of pearl, and then half a packet of this fine rose gold like matte finish glitter. Well, it's not matte finish, you know what I mean, metallic is what I'm trying to say. It's not holographic. So this is what our little concoction looks like so far. I was getting very, very excited, and so was my son. Look, he's like, a little bit more glitter, a little bit more. It was just so much fun. Yeah, you can see my husband is now under the table just like blocking that circle off with frog tape. Hopefully you'll be able to see when I show you the resin pouring and stuff in a minute. I have no idea why my son is punching the glitter, but never mind. Probably getting impatient like his mum. So this is the one we ended up with half left over, and we went in with some more of the Ultra Sparkle Mother of Pearl, and we put all of it in the end because it was just too pretty not to. I think the Hemway glitter it's relatively expensive. Like, you can get cheaper glitters out there, but they're not as gorgeous. So this is a bag of random mixed glitters. I went through all my nail supplies the other day, and some of the glitters I had like duplicates, and some of like the pieces I had duplicates. I had like little star pieces and little moon pieces and little triangle pieces and all sorts of random glitters that I thought would either go well with rose gold because they are pink or some form of gold, or they were like iridescent pieces. So I chucked them all in a bag, and I chucked them all in just for fun. So this is what we've got so far. Flipping gorgeous. Absolutely flipping gorgeous. Give it a stir. Again, we stirred this for another little while. So here we go again. I didn't quite do it for 4 minutes this time. I think I just did it for like 2 minutes. But I wanted to give it a really good stir. As you can see, my husband is still reinforcing with frog tape. We wanted to make sure that there was no leakages that we were going to have to like clean up when the resin was solidified. Because that just would have been more work than we could be bothered with because we're lazy. So this is the resin. Look at it. It's amazing. So here goes the pouring. Oh, this was so much fun. This was so fun. So 1,500 ml of resin and 250 grams of mixed glitter on a standardy sized desk will give you, I think it's probably about 3 millimeters of resin to cover it up with, which doesn't sound like a lot, but seriously, you don't want it too thick at all because otherwise the resin won't set. So this was perfect. One thing that I didn't put on camera, which I do show you in a minute, is that I do a clear layer of resin over the top, literally like 1 millimeter of clear resin, and I'll tell you all about that in a minute. But I'm just using my little Sunday spoon that I was using to maneuver the resin and the glitter all the way to the edges. Make sure that you haven't missed anything, because if you do miss it, that's, tough luck. Once the resin's set, it's set. So make sure you get it as perfect as you can. Don't worry about as I'm moving it, it kind of makes like little marks in the resin, but this resin is super duper self-leveling. So any marks that sort of came as a result of me moving my spoon, that all went. This was just so much fun to do. It was like the way it moves, like as the resin moves and you see all the glitter move in it, it's like, oh, if you're a glitter addict, you will love doing this. It's messy, but it's so fun. So again, I'm just trying to make sure that I go right to the edges, especially round like the fan, because I didn't want to miss any big bits and have like a big white bit poking out somewhere. Oh, and before you start doing this as well, get a spirit level and make sure your desk is level before you start. If it's not level, make it level, like put some cardboard underneath it or whatever. Otherwise all your resin will like run to the side. Luckily my desk was like, whatever they call it, billiard table flat. So I was really lucky with that. So once you're done, it looks like this. This is gorgeous. But as you can see, so yeah, this is my fan area that my husband did for me. As you can see from like where my ring light ring is, it's a tiny little bit bumpy where I've put so much glitter in. You could put less glitter in, but I didn't want it to show the white table underneath. So because it was a tiny little bit bumpy, I'm super duper fussy. So I thought, right, I'm going to put a clear layer of resin over the top of that, which I will show you in a minute, and I'll show you the difference. So just like have a look where the ring light is and where you can see that it's slightly lumpy bumpy with the glitter. And then in a minute, that'll be completely gone. But look at that sparkle. This was so much fun to do. For a holographic lover, I was like, yay! My happy little thumbs. Right, so this is the next day. So you can see how like glass finish that is now. I've put my clear resin on. So this was 700 ml of part A and 300 ml of part B to make a litre altogether. And it's literally like 1 millimetre of resin, but it made it super glass flat. So I was really, really happy that I did that. So at this point, the pink glitter resin has been on for 12 hours when I put my clear resin on to make the top. I didn't want the pink glitter resin to be totally set because I thought then maybe it would set at 2 completely different times and I'd end up with them like separated and not stuck together properly. So I did it when it was 12 hours set, and the resin takes 24 hours to set fully. So later on in the day, 12 hours later, I decided to take the frog tape off before the frog tape got stuck. So at this point, my pink glitter resin has been on for 24 hours. My pink glitter resin is completely solidified, but the clear resin on top is slightly tacky. It kind of, as I was taking the frog tape off, it was like coming apart ever so slightly from the frog tape, but it was solid enough for me to take the tape off. So I'm glad I did it at that point so that it didn't like get stuck. So I'm just going to take all my frog tape off and then leave it another 12 hours for my clear layer to completely set. And I let my husband do the fan circle in the middle because I was really scared of taking that off. But actually it ended up coming off absolutely fine. But I was like, oh my God, I'm going to ruin the middle. So that's what it looks like. It's looking pretty good. So yeah, about 3 millimeters of the, it kept going out of focus here, about 3 millimeters of the glitter resin, about 1 millimeter of the clear one. But you can see, look, I kind of put my finger on it. It's like a little tacky still. And underneath the table, I had some spare resin. So I mixed the rest of that rose gold glitter into some clear resin once I'd done the clear glass top. And I just made some funky shapes on some greaseproof paper that I can use for like nail art palettes and stuff. So when they're fully dry, I will file all around the sides of them and use them as palettes. So now this is another 12 hours later. So everything has been on for 24 hours. It's fully dry. And I'm just going to use a little bit of sanding paper to go around the edges where they were a tiny bit rough, where it had kind of gone up the sides of the frog tape. Do not file the top of the resin. Otherwise you will make scratches in it and it will look horrible. Just file like the little sides really carefully with a fine grit sandpaper. So this is what it looks like when it's all finished, and this is what it looks like with my light on. I was so happy. It's like, honestly, this camera does not even pick up the holo anywhere near good enough. In reality, it's so freaking shiny. It's amazing. So if you are thinking about doing this, I would fully recommend it. It is quite expensive to do, but it's so much fun, and it means you've got a really gorgeous surface to do your nail art work on, or whatever else you're using your desk for. But it was just like, oh, I was trying to capture it on camera and it just was not working. But I will link everything that I have used in the description box down below. Honestly, it's really, really fun. If you have any questions, just ask me in the comments, because it was just so much fun to do. It was awesome. And I hope you have enjoyed this video. It's been really, really fun. And I will see you in the next one, guys. Bye.